Hello and welcome to this amazing talk that we're going to be having about inventory management. We'll be focusing on specifics in the space, and we have an amazing panel today who can really give us some great tips and also just how they've dealt with solutions over the years and how the solutions that are out there really make a difference when implemented correctly. So I'd like to introduce Johan van Rensburg firstly, who is our first guest. And he is a strategic supply chain specialist. He's seasoned in business optimization. He has a career that spans over 30 years or 3 decades. And Johan has helped countless organizations in manufacturing and logistics, as well as distribution. And we can say a lot about Johan, but one of the things we can say about him is he has a master's degree in industrial engineering from the University of Pretoria, where he also served as a senior lecturer. He has real-world experience with some of the largest clients in South Africa and got a world of experience in different scenarios in different companies. And we're just really privileged to have him on board here today. Okay, and then secondly, I'd like to introduce Dani Grobler, who is one of the founding directors of Lancia Consult, and he's also a senior industrial engineer with over 20 years experience in ERP-led operational transformations. He has also implemented solutions across multiple companies and has just a world of experience in this space. So we're truly privileged to have this panel to answer some of these questions that a lot of guys are having within the ERP space, and specifically the tailored ERP space.
Give it a go, perhaps initially, Colin. I think I would say from my perspective, what over the years I've encountered as sort of a major obstacle within the planning domain is that generally your ERP systems comes with predefined solutions that has been developed over many years that attempts to solve this mystery, actually, almost, of inventory planning, with a lot of theory and a lot of almost theoretical history behind it. But quite often what you actually encounter in practice in individual companies is much more, let's say, it's much more unique to the specific company and their own nuances than what you actually get from all the theory, and actually the very good theory that's been developed over many years within the theory of inventory planning. So your challenge to make theory meet practice is something that's got a very low success rate, I'd say, generally within companies. And that is something that you could judge by just asking how many of these companies that carries inventory do use Excel within their planning processes. And I think you're going to find that that's probably 90% or 95%. Johan, you've been doing inventory planning now for, yes, I think I've known you for close to 30 years now while you've been busy with it. And I think actually I met Johan at Marley Pipe Systems a long time ago. And actually his role there at the time was actually to put in place processes for inventory planning. And they were running Baan at the time, yes, which was a leading ERP in the day. Definitely one of the first, actually, to have things like MRP processes incorporated into the ERP system.
Yes.
And I think, Johan, maybe if you can just extend a little bit on that, but I think what we've encountered there 20 years ago at Marley is, I would say, what I encounter weekly with our customers. It's actually no different. And but you've had a lot more and wider experience than the stuff we've done together. So if you can give your view on that.
Yeah, thank you, Donnie. Yes, Colin, so back to your question, the challenge remains to make a good investment in terms of the working capital that you invest in the inventory. while at the same time serving the business, having high availability. I think that always remains the top priority for inventory planning.
Yeah.
And Donnie, you're right. You know, the use of Excel is still prevalent most places. I think sometimes it's core to the entire planning process, and oftentimes it's just an add-on. But to get a company, to find a company where there's no Excel involved in the planning process, that would be quite rare. And it is partly due, I think part of the problem is the fact that the theory, a good theory, I agree, especially when it comes to MRP, multi-level manufacturing processes, it gets quite complex, and it is difficult. These are difficult systems to set up, to maintain, to operate, and you find that you need dedicated, highly skilled people to run these sophisticated solutions. And that's often where the wheels come off. That I've seen, you know, we've developed, designed, implemented very sophisticated solutions at companies, and then it runs for a year, 2 years, and then the wheels come off because the knowledgeable people left the company, and you don't have the skills readily available to keep on maintaining and managing very sophisticated solutions. So I think part of the problem, in my view, is you either need to invest in highly skilled people and be able to retain them to have a sophisticated solution, or you need to find a way of having a solution where you can do the heavy lifting behind the scenes, but have a very straightforward, easy to use, intuitive solution for the planners, which may not always be that highly skilled in the theory. But so you still need a good solution, because we're looking at managing millions of rands and dollars worth of inventory, and extremely high risk of running out of stock. If you stop a factory because of low stock, these which relate into huge expenses. So to keep that ball in the air is difficult, and the drive should be to try and find solutions that are easier to maintain, easier to use, while still having a strong theoretical background, a heavy lifting in terms of the logic that you apply.
Yes. Johan, if I can, there's one point that I'd like to draw in a bit on that, which I think is often where a lot of value sits in, and that is that at many customers, I would say, the solution that are available from the ERP system, because of the nature of it in being so generic, is unnecessarily complex for what would make the difference within that specific environment. And as a result, firstly, they need to go, if they want to go that route, they need to go through quite a intense and complex implementation process, quite costly as well. Normally quite a lead time also on it. And then after that, they need to actually run with with the high skill sets that you've just mentioned. But in many cases, if you were able to craft a planning solution specific to their needs, you can get rid of maybe the lion's share of that complexity. Because that complexity is not always tied to the requirement. It's often introduced by the solutions that the standard system are able to provide.
Yeah,
and if you're able to tailor that to specific needs, then you end up with a system that people actually understand, and that's easy to use. So the first benefit there is that they're able to get going a lot faster, because the learning curve is quicker and it's intuitive to them. It makes sense. Often it's reasonably close to what they might have had in Excel, or what they would have built in Excel if they were able to do it.
Yes.
But it is a formal system, and it doesn't have the negatives of that. The challenge there is the ability to craft the solution to their requirement, which generally I think is not available from your standard ERP tool sets, all right, because they do come from a standard tool set with settings that's built in a very specific mold. And there's a few different ones available there, but still it's seldom, call it exactly crafted to what it's built from the perspective of the theory towards the need, and not other way around. It doesn't start with what is the need and the requirement, and from there, how would we be able to do it? And that's why I think Excel is so often found as the solution there, because with Excel, you've got the ability to do it the other way around. Although there's a heap of negatives, obviously, to Excel that perhaps we can go into a bit later.
Sure. Donnie, I'd like to jump in over there and ask this question, possibly. How do you approach turning broad ERP system like Syspro, which is obviously amazing, into a focused, high impact solution? Because that's what we're talking about, something that is efficient and to the point.
I think we've actually recently, in the last few weeks, I had again a scenario where this was so, the specific thing we've just mentioned was so prevalent, where we've got a company, a customer that's got the bill of materials are only 2-level bill of materials. All right, so they do have a final packaging step within their operations that effectively, call it, packages the product they manufacture, and they've got mixing operations before that, which blend effectively what they're going to package. And that's now a typical scenario where they do have a bill of material, but that bill of material is 2 levels deep. Yeah. All right, it's not 5 or 7 or 10 deep, but they do have a bill of material, and it's not a straight 1-level bill of material. Now, nowhere in standard systems are they going to give you a solution packaged for a 2-level bill of material. It's going to be the generic solution for drilling through a whole bill of material with all the complexity that comes from it, which means you're immediately into a lot of complexity, because you can evaluate effectively, call it almost the net result of the whole output. Only then are you able to actually interpret your results or have the ability to visualize and sort of take next actions. Or you can go the other way around and almost just work on min-max levels. But the truth there is, like, your sweet spot when you've got something like that with a 2-level BOM sits in the ability to visualize the two together. And because you've got only 2, it's not complex if you've got your finished item, and then what you require for that finished item is a 1-to-1 displaying on a dashboard like Excel, where you can see heaps of stock codes at the same time with their dependent next level or sub job already on the same screen as a typical example. So that's where something becomes extremely simple that could have been very complex. Yeah. And the nature of that is now immediately, instead of almost, I want to say, revisiting different screens or the same screen with different data 10 times over, you're able to effectively display the whole net result of your output in grid format on a single screen, which just makes all the difference to a typical planner. I don't know if, Johan, if that makes sense, what I've just described, or you've got any questions on that. I don't think,
No, I agree, Donnie. I think if we think about the solutions that we consider here, one of the benefits is the ability to have that grid layout, grid display with the typical Excel functions of sorting and filtering and so on, which is intuitive. It's intuitive for anybody using Excel to just use this type of grid display. And I think the added advantage of tailoring the solution, as you mentioned it before, tailoring a solution means looking at the client, realizing there's only a 2-level BOM, which requires a certain setup. You don't have to use a generic system that's extremely complex. But also, just want to come back to the earlier point, also tailoring to your user's level of expertise. Because, in the big, large corporates, these big companies can afford to have departments stacked with clever people who can take care of the sophisticated solutions. But in most of the smaller, medium-sized companies, you find that there just isn't enough manpower to have highly skilled people. So tailoring the solution also take into account what's the skill level of your user, where do you need to pitch the solution in order for the user to really effectively use it. And I think the solution that we present is one that has a very easy to use, intuitive interface while still being able to do the necessary calculations. And I think perhaps it's worth to note that although, we've mentioned the complexity of multi-level MRPs, there are scenarios where that is what you require. There are scenarios where you have customers with very long lead times, imported raw materials, multi-level bill of materials, and you may end up in saying, look, the best solution is to use a standard MRP. The best solution is to retain IO forecasting, seasonality and forecasting, etc. But even in that, we can package the complexity of inventory optimization and MRP within a very easy to use user interface that still give you the grid display, and tailor the information that you provide to the user, whatever is necessary for that person to be able to make a good decision. We have the ability to bring all of that together in a single screen, and at the same time allow him to evaluate the data, make a decision, click whatever needs to be released, press the button, and it feeds back seamlessly into your ERP. So I think all in all, the tailoring is it's a huge benefit where you can pitch the solution exactly at the client's requirement.
I think if I can touch maybe just on CISPRO there, Colin asked about CISPRO, and I think, Colin, obviously we've worked across many ERPs in different scenarios with different solutions. But the one thing of CISPRO that I must say we really enjoy is that CISPRO gives us enormous flexibility in how to combine the internal CISPRO toolset with the typical layers that we are then able to put, I don't want to say on top of it, because it's literally within CISPRO actually where we are able to provide these dashboards that then without any integration or interfaces are able to directly use these CISPRO APIs on the execution side, as Johannes mentioned. So where you typically would have had some interface having to go import your purchase orders into your ERP, CISPRO allows us to directly create those replenishment orders within CISPRO, within the ERP, from within the CISPRO framework. And we can do that either by using sort of total custom logic that we do at times, or we can do it by putting on top of the CISPRO planning algorithms the necessary dashboards that utilizes that CISPRO functionality, but just package it in a way that's familiar to the users and that meets the users at their skill level.
Okay, Donnie, so I'd like to just take a second over here and sort of go back to the core question around inventory management, which, is that thing of, do you know constantly what to buy and when to buy and in what quantity, and even the moving around of stock. That is sort of the core of this. And then sort of where exactly Tempo is going to fit into that with its powerful integration into CISPRO, which you guys have been sharing already, which obviously is pretty amazing. So could you walk us through how it addresses this challenge and how we can make smarter decisions, or how people can make smarter decisions in whether they're buying stock or making stock or moving stock? How that works and
firstly, I'd say, that the what to buy and when to buy it, or when to make it, or when to transfer it from a different warehouse. All of that is the essence of inventory planning, irrespective of how you do it. So all the tool sets will attempt to do exactly that.
Yes.
I think that the biggest differentiator we've got with what we do with Tempo is that we're able to basically what we said earlier, to be able to design the process from the requirement outwards. So we start with the business requirement at the customer, and we definitely don't want to make it any more complex than what they need. Right. But also we don't want to make it too simple so that doesn't meet their requirements. Right.
Yes.
So we need to find the spot where
in between,
where it's the simplest possible solution that still meets their requirements.
Yes.
And I think Tempo gives us the opportunity to craft a solution for them that does that. And actually in that process, we're able to utilize the power of SysPro, as Johan just mentioned a little bit earlier. When you do have those deep multi-level bombs with seasonality, etc., we do utilize forecasting that's available in SysPro with inventory optimization, with complicated MRPs. And we're able to still package that in a way that a user can easily consume it. But often cases, there is a bit of an overkill for the actual solution that's needed on site there. And we're able to cut out some of those complexity and deliver something that's much more direct to the requirement, but still actually meets the requirement of when what, as you've just described, in a very sensible way. And it's highly visual, it's highly familiar due to the Excel nature, of Tempo. It's not Excel, but it's got a Excel look and feel to it. And typically, as Johanna said, your filters and sorting and all those things are familiar to typical Excel interfaces. But it lives within SysPro. It executes directly into SysPro and reads data out of SysPro. It's all live on SysPro. So that's for us the sweet spot on where we're trying to focus most of our efforts. And I'd say often we've basically naturally grown into doing more of it in SysPro, just because we're able to provide so much more bang for your buck because of the nature of the solution within SysPro, rather than trying to do things externally, which is typically what you normally would have to do.
Yes. Sticking to Tempo for the moment, what type of business is the right fit for? What are the type of characteristics or scenarios where you've typically seen Tempo really add the most value? A set couple of examples of that.
Yeah, maybe there's sort of a few key points. The first is, as I've just said, that SysPro is for us a sweet spot where we add most value at the moment. We can do it other places as well, but with Tempo in SysPro, there's an enormous amount of synergy coming from that. All right. So when a customer already runs SysPro or plans on running SysPro, there's immediately something that I would say puts us at a real position to be of value to them. Secondly, that they need to be an inventory type company. They need to carry stock. Johan said it at the beginning. It's all about minimizing their stock without being out of stock effectively. So they need to carry enough stock for it to make sense. But generally, if they run SysPro, there's a highly likelihood that they fall within the range of what we'd be interested in. Your typical SysPro customer, I would say from a turnover perspective, they would vary from, say, 50 million per annum up to 5 billion per annum turnover. And that is a good sweet spot for the solutions, that we provide.
Yeah. Okay, and Donnie, what would you say are the most common sort of problems that guys face that you've seen before they see you guys, before they actually, come to you for a solution? What would you say?
Well, I would say, are you using Excel in inventory planning?
Well, there we go.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you're using Excel in your inventory planning, why are you using Excel?
Yeah.
And we can take our guesses here as to why that's the case. But highly likely it's just that the ERP system in its standard form doesn't allow you to have a solution that actually supports your business process without that becoming too complex.
Yes.
And as a result, you end up in Excel. Right now, the negatives of Excel are it is actually extremely dangerous in your Excel situation. It is very, very, let's say, it's often the only option, and it's sort of in some ways, it's an easy option, an easy first option. Right? It's where people go
access,
to make a plan, or make a plan.
Yeah.
But the issue with it is it's not sustainable. Firstly, and it is definitely carries a lot of risk from two elements. Firstly, it's always very, very dependent on the person that did that Excel, and if that person leaves, normally it's very hard to take over that process. Generally, the comments I've had is those Excel sheets, when that person is not available, nothing can happen. You wait till they're back before the next step happens. And that's not only for inventory planning. Actually, I had a conversation in the week with someone around it's an operation where they actually use an Excel sheet to do their shipment on, because they need to do pro forma invoicing, and then they ship on Excel, and then later on they invoice in the ERP.
Sure.
It's a different scenario, and he said the issue with this is there's only one guy that if that guy's not available, the whole process stands still. And it's a reasonably simple process, but that Excel is already at the point where it's always the case that they grow, and very quickly they're too large, they start falling over, they get corrupted, and the big thing is when something goes wrong, only that one person can fix it.
Yeah.
And Excel in nature is not stable. All right. So in nature, you're going to have scenarios where a formula gets corrupted, data pulls in a different format. It's not a formal database.
Yeah.
And
it's not a nice collaborative tool either. It's difficult to collaborate using a range of Excel sheets. It's not integrated with your process. It's a standalone thing that can easily break. Yeah. I think one of the reasons why people tend to use Excel is because it's a brilliant prototyping tool. If you have a problem, you need a solution, you build it, and it gives you everything you need. It's very nice to get to a solution. I think that one of the benefits of using a Tempo dashboard is the same type of prototyping that you do in Excel. You can mirror much of that right inside Syspro in your Tempo dashboard. Wow. The type of logic that you use, there are limitations. We don't have an Excel embedded within Syspro, but many of the logical processing that you would do in Excel, you can bring that over and develop that, build that within a Tempo dashboard, and have that seamlessly integrated. It's not a standalone thing. It's not something that, with all the risks associated with Excel. It's part of your formal process.
Yeah.
That
can be incorporated into the formal process. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we do have more and more customers that even where they've got an Excel process that runs well.
Yeah.
They would see the benefit and the value of us replacing that Excel process with and see it as a prototype, as Johanna said. Use that Excel as a prototype for what meets that business requirement.
Yes.
And put something in place that's formalized, that runs within your ERP on a SQL database, but that gives you almost exactly the same user experience as what Excel would have given, just with actually better integrity in terms of the data flows and the data stability and all backups and all the rest that typically happens with formalized systems.
Yes.
And a big reason for it, it's sort of twofold. There's obviously a lot of efficiency as well, in that when you're running Excel, typically your feedback into the system can be quite difficult and laborsome. So to initiate your orders back into the ERP is problematic from Excel. Normally it's manual, or sometimes it's an import or some sort of batch process that's problematic.
Yeah.
So Tempo can bring you a lot of just processing efficiency when we do that. That saves you obviously a lot of money directly from just people time. and for them to focus on focus their attention on making better decisions than actually processing data or manually capturing data. And the other big benefit is just sustainability. Because you embed it in a normal system, in a formal system, someone can quite easily take it over. Also, as Johanna said, the collaboration element. When you've got something formally in a system, it's a lot easier to rally a company around that, the data in the ERP. That's always this. Everyone sees the same data. There's no different versions of it and discrepancies as to what you should be trusting in terms of whose sheet might have which formula and when last has it been refreshed. It's all live. Everyone looking at the same data. A single source of truth or a single point of truth in terms of the data that everyone's looking at.